I made it from the list. No.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, that's a little bit better. Glad to see everyone here today. Nasty time outside, cold and everything. It's warm here. Glad everybody's here, most especially our visitors. I'd like to thank them for being here. Invite you back anytime you're in our area. This morning, if you have a Bible handy, our scripture will be read by Brother Larry Parsons. It will be Matthew 7:12-14. Our psalm reading this morning will be by Brother Wayne Corbett. Number 794 will be his first psalm. He will also have the opening prayer, and the dismissal will be by Brother Larry Parsons. You'll all take the Bible on the book.
Matthew chapter 7, beginning in verse 12. Therefore, whatever you want men to do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets. Enter by the narrow gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and there are many who go in by it. Because narrow is the gate, and difficult is the way which leads to life, and there are few who find it.
First song, number 794. We'll just be standing for this song and remain standing for the first song. Unto thee, O Lord,
unto thee, O Lord,
do I lift up my soul.
Do I lift up my soul.
Unto thee, O Lord,
unto thee, O Lord,
do I lift up my soul.
Do I lift up my soul.
Oh my God, I
trust in thee. Let me not be ashamed, let not my enemies triumph over me.
Yea, let none that way.
Yea, let none that way.
On me be ashamed.
On thee be ashamed.
Yea, let none that way.
Yea, let none that way.
On me be ashamed.
On thee be ashamed.
Oh my God,
Oh my God,
I
trust in thee. Let me not be ashamed, let not my enemies triumph over me.
remember not
Remember not
the sins of my youth.
the sins of my youth.
Remember not
Remember not
the sins of my youth.
the sins of my youth.
Oh my God,
Oh my God,
I trust in thee.
Let me not be ashamed, let not my enemies triumph over me.
Pray with me, please. Father in heaven, we thank you so much for this day, the opportunity we have to come together as Christians, worship, sing songs of praise, learn more about your word. Father, we thank you for the freedoms we have in this country. Pray that those would never cease to exist. We would not take those for granted. Father, we thank you for your son Jesus, the reason we're here today. Thank you for his death and his resurrection and forgiveness of those things. Father, we pray that you be with those that are sick. You bless them with the measure of health that they desire to be your will. Father, comfort those that are mourning and those that are downhearted. Father, we thank you for everything you do for us each and every day. In Christ's name I pray. Amen. Please be seated. Psalm number 412. As I travel through this pilgrim land,
There is a friend who walks with me, leads me safely through the sinking sand. It is the Christ of Calvary. This would be my prayer, dear Lord, each day to help me do the best I can. For I need thy light to guide me day and night. Blessed Jesus, hold my hand. Blessed Jesus, hold my hand. Yes, I need every hour. Through this blackness, pilgrim land, protect me by thy saving power. Hear my plea from the feeble plea. Oh Lord, dear Lord, look down on me. When I'm kneeling, I come to reach there. Blessed Jesus, hold my hand. Let me travel in the light divine, that I may see the blessed way. Keep me that I may be holy, God, and sing redemption songs someday. I will be a soldier brave and true, and ever firmly take a stand. As I onward go and daily meet the foe, blessed Jesus, hold my hand. Blessed Jesus, hold my hand. Yes, I need every hour. Through this wilderness, pilgrim land, protect me by thy saving love. Hear my plea on thee. Oh Lord, dear Lord, look down on me. When I'm kneeling prayer, I need to be there. Blessed Jesus, hold my hand.
When
I wander through the valley, endure the setting of the sun. Lead me safely to a land of rest, if I a crown of life have won. I have put my faith in thee, dear Lord, that I may reach the golden strand. There's no other friend on whom I can depend. Blessed Jesus, hold my hand. Blessed Jesus, hold my hand. Yes, I need thee every hour. Through this protect me by thy saving love. Hear my plea on thee. Oh Lord, dear Lord, look down on me. When I kneel in prayer, I need to be there. Blessed Jesus, hold my hand.
If you'd like to mark your songbooks, number 947 would be the invitation song. 47. Song before the lesson is number 416. Sweetly, Lord, we have heard thee calling, come, follow me, and we see the footsteps falling, lead us to thee. Footprints of Jesus that make the pathway glow. We will follow the steps of Jesus wherever they go. Though they lead o'er the cold hard mountains, seeking His sheep, or along life's lowest mountains, helping the weak. Footprints of Jesus that make the pathway glow. We will follow the steps of Jesus wherever they go. By and by through the shining portals, turning our feet, we shall walk with the glad immortals Heaven's golden street. Footprints of Jesus that make the pathway glow. We will follow the steps of Jesus wherever they go.
Good morning. Everybody have fun in the snow the other day. Building a snowman and all kinds of things. Maybe go sledding. That's always fun. It's a little cold for my taste, and I had a cold, so I just stayed in. And nice and warm. Some people went and became a daredevil and flipped cars and other things, and just thankful that they're okay. But that was, I imagine, better than any Disney ride though, as far as it goes. And but I don't think she'll try to do it again. It's good to be here. We had a busy week. I've been trying to overcome a cold and better. Have really puzzled my family. And I saw Megan earlier. She had some snack, and so I thought I might need something too. So I had my son go and get a banana. And of course my wife's thinking, why in the world I have a banana? But this year what we're going to look at showing the world a better way. And there are a few things, that seem so simple when you see them. But if I were to hand anyone this banana, pretty much most people are going to take it by the stem and they're going to try to break it. Well, I can tell this one's a little flimsy there. As they get a little riper, they get a little flimsy, and it can be a little tough. And so I know some people maybe take a knife or something, or you just really mush it down. But you know what? I saw something a couple years ago, and people were simply watching the way a monkey opens a banana. Now, I've got shoes on, and it's cold outside, so I won't take them off, because one thing monkeys do is they'll take their feet and they'll hold the bottom of the foot as they do it. I'll not do that, but if you can see maybe some merits if you did that. So if you're home, if you want to do that with your foot, go right ahead. But basically, instead of trying to bend it, break it, a foolproof way of always opening the banana without tearing it up is you simply pinch the other end of it, and you simply tear it off like that. And the nice thing about it, it's got a nice little handle thing if you want to eat it that way. And if I didn't have a cough drop in my mouth, I might eat it. I think I'll just put that back up. But see how simple that was? And yet it's better. But I dare say, most of you go home and you're in a pinch, you're in a hurry, guess what? You'll revert back to it this way. Even though you see how much easier and you start having stubbornness, but it is easier. It is a better way. Now, you say eventually get into the other way anyway, so I understand that the analogy doesn't come full circle or it doesn't work in every aspect. But we see there are things that are better. Things that are better for you. And the Christian life is the best way to live, bar none. And there are things about the Christian life that leave you more, obviously leave you more hopeful. And there are things that are just better about that just because of that. We know eventually, though, there is eternal life found in Christ. And that's found nowhere else. And so there is indeed a better way. And it's an absolute thing. You will not get inside the banana. You will not get out of heaven without being a Christian. It's up to us to show the world a better way. And a lot of times we look at so busy on condemning people and so busy on telling people what's wrong with this, wrong with that we don't get time. We turn people off and we never get a chance to let them know why it's better to be a Christian. Our lesson text is Matthew 7, 12 to 14. So we won't be there for a while, for we have entered a new year. And something I always like to do at the beginning of the year, and I did not do it last week because I had something prepared, and needless to say, there were some things going on last week that I wanted to also include in our State of the Union. I had one of these last year, and I had one this year, and there will be a few pictures as you see. But, I think before we can look ahead into this year and what we want to accomplish and the things we need to do, we need to look back at last year. And first thing, I copied this directly from last year, our 2016. And you'll see that, well, at least the attendance numbers we did not achieve too well. Last year, the goals I set for us was 120 average Sunday morning attendance. I was probably a little too optimistic about that. But my previous work, basically, I had undershot it by so many. I just didn't want to do that again. We did have a couple families leave that represented at least 8 people. And so our attendance was down this year by some, but not as great as maybe some may think. But it was down some, and so we did not accomplish that. And as a result, none of these others we did as well. Although, I will say this, our Bible study averages were actually in proportion higher than what they had been the year before. Wednesday evening as well. Now, on the good side, on the contribution one, even though our attendance was down slightly, our contribution held steady. It went up by a little bit, I believe, but we didn't achieve the 2,000 mark, but we didn't do bad. We gave well. We even had some special Fifth Sundays where we had special contributions, and we was able to do that because we were generous givers last year. Youth work or activity each month. I didn't actually look at these each and every month, but overall we probably came pretty close, and I'd say we had a good effort. I think we definitely increased our involvement with the young and with our youth activities, and we'll have more to talk about that. I'd said maybe have 3 door knocking campaigns, and I think that was a little bit too optimistic, and we didn't do this. The one that I'm probably the most disappointed about is the number of baptisms. We did 10. We did have 2, and I look to have more this year. Have Bible studies already lined up and in the process, and hopefully they will be fruitful as the year passes. One of the things, as we get this, it may seem, well, we didn't do very good, but as we get into really some of the more, I think, more spiritual-minded, more growth-minded in the long term, I think you'll see we actually did better than maybe what you think. These things like take advantage of opportunities like Halloween and also the back to school, I want to tell you we did that and we did a great job. More Bible class teachers, I think we have done that. And I think our Bible class, we started a new curriculum, and I think that's been a good effort so far. I think a can-do attitude that we can grow and that we can do more. I think we're achieving this, and as we've seen, and we've had another elder appointed in last year. We now have 3. And we've had 2 new deacons that were appointed just last week. And so I think we have a lot to look forward to. We have a lot that was accomplished in 2016. And so I wanted to, as we did last year, kind of go through some of this. 2016 was begun the same way it was in 2017. We had a locking. And when we first proposed this concept, everybody said, oh yeah, we've done stuff like that before where we stayed till about midnight. And we was like, no, not locking. And so we introduced our congregation to that concept. And we had 16 children. 16. And we thought that was pretty good. And we had some adults that stayed and helped. And we had some devotional time and some other things. And obviously a lot of fun. Haley introduced us to a strand ball where you put all kinds of things in it. And it doesn't look like much, but it'll take a good hour to get it unwound. And there's candy and all kinds of trinkets in there. And basically, when you finally get tired and run out of ideas, you just hand them the ball and they have at it and they love it. And so we introduced that. Had some other fun things as well. But it was a good start to the year. And we thoroughly enjoyed it. As February came, we also had something else. We went to CYC, Challenge Youth Conference. And I really didn't, when I first proposed this, I didn't know if anyone would be interested or not, but we wound up having 16 representing Heritage Edition. And so we had we rented a van, a 15-passenger van. By the way, they have really made all kinds of advancements in 15-passenger vans now. This thing was really nice. And I know Kayla, I think, wanted one, so she drove it for a while, but it was really nice. We rented it, and we had a good group. We stopped and ate at Cracker Barrel, I think, on the way down, and you see some of the folks there. And it was a great time. 16. By the way, we have 21 signed up to go. We have grown quite a few. Even though Kayla and her bunch will not be coming, we still grew, and we have 21 that will be going. Now, it's not just all fun and games. It's at Hill at Pigeon Forge. It is the largest type of event by the Churches of Christ. Basically, it outgrew the facility that was in Gatlinburg. It's now in the Pigeon Forge, and they had over 13,000 last year. They'll have more this year because they had to go to 2 sessions. This was taken kind of in between some things, and you see some empty seats. But I assure you, when the services actually began and started, there wasn't a seat to be found. And basically, it is just a huge, enormous convention center. And it was amazing. The singing's amazing. And of course, the vast majority are youths, tweens, and teens. And so our bunch will be thoroughly enriched by their going this year as they were last year. You see some of ours there. And something we failed to do that we will do this year. We did not get a group picture at any time. I don't know what we was thinking. This is about as many of them together as we got from a distance. But I assure you they were all there and they all had a good time. You can ask them. Really what I'll do this time though is when they go to the knife store, the largest knife store in the world, when they go there this year, I'll take a picture because that's when they was most excited, I think, of anything. In March, really didn't have anything, but now, I want to preface this. I thought I'd show this. I think this is around Easter time. It was a difficult year in many ways for me last year, as my father passed away in February. And And, things like that can get you down, and they can even defeat you. I ask also that you pray. I know some of you have seen in the bulletin and other things. My great niece, who was only 2.5 months old, passed away in her sleep. And my brother and my nephew it's a very difficult time. It was very difficult when my father passed away, someone that meant so much to me. Yet we persevered. I think with Christ, and we know that God cares for us all. He loves us so much. We carry on. And so we did, even though it was difficult and maybe it delayed us in some things. And I did have to take many trips back and forth to Nashville, not only during his illness and during his death, but also take care of my mom. And from time to time, we'll be going again Tuesday, so keep me in prayers. But we persevered. Now, I almost included another picture here, just because it's such a prominent amount of our family here. I almost included a picture of Reed's barbecue at this point as well. And maybe I should have. But y'all be here later, so don't worry about it. Things we didn't do a lot, but like I say, you persevere. But then it got busy. I want to tell you, the last half of our year last year, we really picked up the pace, and there was a lot that was done. First of all, the Libbies, all of them this time went on mission trips. I should have taken a picture when we picked up Katie from the land of Elvis, but I just didn't think of it. But she went to New Zealand, and then of course the Libbies went to Ghana. All of them did, and it was a great, successful trip. Also want to say that our Bible Booster class has, on Sunday evenings, have remained strong. If your kids don't normally attend that, I'd encourage them to come. They learn a great deal, and they, I think, have a good time in doing that as well. July. You remember July? Somebody strange looking there, but it's Vacation Bible School. And we had a boat in here. I don't know how it got in here, but it was here. People worked hard, and Vacation Bible School. It's everybody looking at that silly man there. And it wasn't just me. There was another one that stole the show that all the little girls wanted his autograph and weren't following around. And I guess the worst part ever. But anyway, we had a good time, but it wasn't just about that. Obviously, they had Bible classes and other things. And the thing that I'm proud of what we did is the year before we had a group come. And from Mesquite, they helped us out. And I want to tell you that we went back to last year all our own, and I think we did a really great job, and I think it was a very successful VBS. Our numbers were very similar, even though we had all those from Mesquite that were not with us. Our numbers still reigned well, and I look forward to our VBS next year as well. The week after VBS, a good number of our young people went to Camp Wildwood. And what has become a tradition, and I appreciate Steve and Jennifer kind of spearheading this part up. I'm kind of busy usually on Sundays, but they go and they take them and they worship at the Liberty Church of Christ outside of Russellville, and that's kind of a yearly tradition. And they take a picture there, and they have done that as well. And I want to tell you, the kids, they grow closer together, they learn more about God, and they meet friends and relationships that will last a lifetime. July was busy. August was as well. One of the missed opportunities I felt that we've lost in 2015 was doing something for our kids going back to school. So I had this great idea, let's do another lock-in. Well, it went over too well. The thing about it, summertime, a lot more kids have ready access. And we had well over 40, I forget the exact number, but we had so many, we had to call in some helpers, and people wound up staying all night that probably hadn't planned on staying all night. But it was an amazing thing. Once again, we did the saran wrap ball. And something that we didn't do in our January one, we just held last week, we did a thing called iced tea, but it's not something you drink. Basically what you do is you take a cooking pan, a sheet pan, and you put a shirt in it, you fold it up in there where it fits just perfect, and then you pour water in it, you put it in the freezer. And after a few hours you flip it over, pour a little bit more water in it, and you put it back in there. And let it freeze hard overnight, 2 nights. And then you bring it out. We had 3 shirts, we had 3 teams. And basically the goal of the operation is you hand a shirt to each person. Of course, it just stands on its own. It's solid as a rock. And you hand it to each team, and they designate one person before you tell them what they're doing. And the goal is for them to unfold this shirt and put it on somebody. And that seems like it'd be something easy and simple to do, but it takes a good 15 minutes of kids, slamming it on the ground, bringing it with their hands, as you'll see, and pulling and tugging. And hands are just freezing cold. And but anyway, then they eventually get it open and put it on somebody. By the way, we didn't do it because we had too many noses that were sniffling the other night, and it was just a little bit too cold. So we have 3 shirts in the freezer, just waiting for our next August lock-in. Maybe the elders, we have 3 elders, maybe they want to volunteer to put the shirts over. I know. But it is a lot of fun and get enjoyed. Like I said, well over 40. It was an amazing number of kids that attended that. And of course, Steve, I apologize for the quality of the picture here, but in August also we appointed our 3rd elder, and didn't think to take a picture. I would ask for help on that this year. Pictures really document and chronicle things, and so if people could help me out, take pictures from time to time. Didn't take a picture. I had to crop this one from our video feed of that service. And so, what excitement that was. And I've already seen the benefit of how fulfilling that is. And I don't know, Richard, with having a 3rd elder, you might be able to go on to at least 100 as serving as an elder. I don't know. But it really does help. And Steve has fit right in. And I want to tell you, I think he was definitely the right man for the job, position. And we appreciate all that Steve did before and especially now. October, we had a fall cookout. You know, so many of our events are around food. I don't know, food has something to do with things. But anyway, we had 68, I think was the number, on Sunday afternoon. And we had a short devotional, but just outstanding food. Food that was grilled there, and also everybody brought some food, and people ate and fellowship, and we stayed a good long while. Maybe that's something we need to do more often, at least once and not twice a year. Also, the other thing, the most missed opportunity of 2015 I had noted was as I looked out my door as the kids were coming, ringing the doorbell to get some candy. Actually, we waited for them in the parking lot so I could watch. But I saw how full the parking lot was, and so I had a vision to do something, get our presence more known. People were already using our parking lot, and so I came with the idea down somewhere else, what's called hobo chili. And I think some kind of wondered about this. First of all, how good could this hobo chili be when you just take a bunch of cans and throw it in a big pot? But secondly, how well it would be received and how it would work. And it did start off a little slower than what I had envisioned, but I knew it would come, and it did. And by the end of the evening, we had served, I guess, close to 400 bowls of chili. And no telling how many people came by. And it was a great time. People came to know us, and they appreciated it, I think, in the community. it's something that I dare say will grow next year as people find out about it. The thing I was most impressed is it really made me feel great about our congregation was how, first of all, people donated all the cans of chili and the other items that we needed. And you know, we had a table back there, and they'd come and bring it, and we had it. And people, I think they said, you know, like almost Jesus, you know, feeding 5,000 men, you know, they'd bring it, they'd be shaking their heads, well, you know, we'll never use all this cans of chili. We used every last thing, I want to tell you. And it was an amazing process. But the other thing was having people came and helped and stayed the night. And I want to tell you, you know, we had people that worked hard and diligently, and there were times it was rather busy. And, you know, one person after another. They really liked the chili, and we had water as well. And even had people that were giving out candy for their kids and everything. And it's hard to really pictures to do justice how crowded it was and how busy it was. But I want to tell you, that evening, people came to know us a little better. They used our parking lot probably for years, and yet now they see us as someone that's part of the community that's alive and vibrant. And it's something that you never know what good favor that may do. And one day may find some open doors for those who may study the Bible with us. Once again, November, you know, we don't think a lot. We once again fed over 20 families. And had all the boxes and all the work. I don't have a picture. But what I do have, one person that we took food to, she actually took a picture of the food and sent it to me and thanked the church for her ability to have a good Thanksgiving meal because of what we did. And so that's what I do have, and maybe that's a better picture, but we did this to well over 20 families. It's something we've done every year. It's something that I will tell you is something that the church needs to be doing. I said agreed to be there for that said and done. In December we had a widow and widowers dinner. Started out as a lunch and then turned into a dinner so that more families could come. And so we also had their family and friends. And what a beautiful place it was and still is, but especially during the Christmas time as it was decorated. And the food was just simply outstanding. And you know, what a great night it was. And I hope this is something that is an annual tradition that we continue. And it was a good and meaningful time. I just noticed this picture though. It's like Marvin is there all by himself and no one wants to sit next to him. I don't know. But Betty was actually working and helping, and some of us was on the sides as well. But sorry about that caption. I should have, I guess, cropped you out. You look all lonely by yourself. We did a lot of good stuff. And we tried to increase our outreach as the year came to an end, and I believe we definitely did it. Another thing that I want to tell you, I think Sean Bledsoe gets most of the credit here because as spur of the moment in 2015, he said, you know, there's a spot that's open in the parade, and someone had a gator that he could borrow, and so Abby and my two kids, and they put a little sign real quickly made, and they rode in the parade in 2015. And from that I said, you know, we have a the next year, and so I let Sean spearhead it, and even though the parade was postponed twice, we did have, and I tell you, it was a cold night, but we actually, I think, still out to the foyer area, there's the trophy where we won second place for our float, and we had a good time. By the way, I want to tell you, my kids, you know, they had been in floats before, and some of the kids, like Abby ran out of candy before she got to, you know, where Reed's barbecue's at. She was long out of candy, well before then. She was just shoveling it out, And we didn't have the mayor's pickup truck with just full of candy like he does. And so she ran out. But my girls, they were smart. They kind of rationed it some, and you know, Miss Diane and Jerry, when they saw them at the end as the parade was ending, they still had some candy. They threw it at them. So some payback. They do such a good job giving so much candy to everybody else that my kids made sure they got a little bit of candy before the night was over. So that was fun. Once again, the community gets to know that we have some vibrant young kids in our congregation. Now, I wanted to include this picture, even though it was last week and technically 2017, all the groundwork and everything was set up in 2016 for our new deacons. And if it had not been for someone being out of town a certain week in December, it would have been done in December of 2016. So I wanted to go ahead and include this picture. We have great hope, great promise as we start a new year. We have deacons who have already shown an aptitude to work. I'm looking forward to our business meeting today. And I encourage any man to come there. I'm looking forward to it because we have deacons who will be given specific works. We'll be looking at specific things, and so much more can be done. And as was mentioned, I think, by both of them last week, they can't accomplish everything, even with this 2 additions that we have. Total of 4. We need everyone to help out. We need everyone to pitch in. You see, the things that we have accomplished the most, such as the fall festival that we did at Halloween night, it was because so many people worked together. You see how much we did on the parade, and so many helped out of that. Sean spearheaded it, but so much work was done by all. We see so many other things where people pitched in. The fall cookout where so many worked. We all pitch in and do other works, especially those that deal with evangelism and other things. How much can be accomplished? What about 2017? It's good to have goals. I've tried to come up with goals that are reasonable, but of a challenge can be accomplished. See, our numbers average back up to around 105. And that is more than doable. Our Bible classes, 75, or even worship 70. I've already come up with an idea, but it doesn't seem like one for it. Last week we had, 65, I think, on Sunday evening. So we had a lock-in every Sunday night. We could pretty much come close to our goal on Sunday evening worship. Wednesday evening Bible study, weekly contribution. I think as our numbers grow, our giving will grow. But I hear a lot of optimism in our economy as we have a new president. I pray that that's the case. And as we have economic growth, I pray that our generosity is also shown in our giving to the work at the church. Youth worker activity each month, I want to see us continue that, and I think we can. I think we've started something that will go on for years to come. I would like to do one big door knocking campaign this year. I'm still working on the details of that. Egg baptisms. I think that's something we can do. But we all need each to work towards that. We need to continue our outreach efforts. We did such great strides last year. Let's continue to keep that up. Something I'd like to see us do, and I think it will benefit us greatly, is read our Bibles. The reading plan. If you want to do your own, go right ahead, but read your Bibles daily. Study your Bibles. I'd also like to see us have at least one special day, like a Friends and Family Day, where we get in the habit of inviting others to come, and we get to share with them and show them indeed that there is a better way. It's up to us to show the world a better way. In this world, you're all kinds of trauma, all kinds of heartache, all kinds of distress. It's up to us. Jesus said in Matthew 7:12-14, so whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. For this is the law and the prophets. Enter by the narrow gate, for the gate is wide, and the way is easy that leads to destruction. And those who enter by it are many. For the gate is narrow, and the way is hard that leads to life. And those who find it are few. Now, this whole verse, this whole passage goes contrary, and as we continue the year, we're going to have sermons periodically that deal with how we can show the world a better way. But I want to tell you, you hear people grumble and complain all the time, especially at a workplace. What if you're the one that doesn't do that? What if you're the one that brings cheer and hope to your workplace? What if you help your co-worker out? What if you go the extra mile? Not because you get a reward for it and extra pay or a bonus or things like that, but simply because what we do for the Lord. Let's show others a better way. We see that it's not easy. The world's way. The world's way is the popular way. There's always going to be more people going the world's way. But just because the majority doesn't mean it's better. How many people are heartbroken? How many people are unhappy? How many people are distressed? The world's way looks promising. Sin looks enticing at first, doesn't it? It looks promising. It looks like, oh, that might be the thing to do. Well, everybody else is doing it. It must be right. But the world's way often leads to destruction. Oftentimes, even in this world, sinful ways will cause problems, will cause even greater heartache, will cause even greater destruction on this earth, but we know it ultimately leads to eternal destruction. God's way. God's way is always the best way. God's way appears difficult, but see, it hones us, it refines us, it purifies us so that our faith will be strong and mature as possible so we can show others a better way. There will indeed be fewer people, but there's always some. We have a good group here. We have a good group of like-minded people. We have a good group that believe in God and trust in Him. One of the reasons I wanted to go to Challenge Youth Conference was to show our young people. There are a good deal of people who believe in God, who trust in Christ. And when they see a crowd of over 13,000, it can't help but greaten their faith. It ultimately leads to eternal life. It's the only way that we do it. Show the way. Paul writes in 2 Corinthians 5:10-11, for we must all appear to the judgment of Christ, so that each one may receive what is due for what he has done in the body, whether good or evil. Then the next verse says at the start, therefore knowing the fear of the Lord, there is no judgment day. It's going to be based on the way we choose, the world's way or God's way. If we choose the world's way, ultimately we will receive punishment. Eternal punishment. Separated from God and the Lord forever. For all. We as Christians, we understand this. We know this to be true. As a result, we live a certain way, but it's up to us to show others. We know the fear of the Lord. We know the terror of the Lord. We know that He is just. And there will be a day of punishment. Thus, with every fight, show the world a better way so that we can persuade them. Persuade them to come to Jesus. Jesus simply said, he who believes and is baptized will be saved. In Mark 16:16. If you're not a Christian this morning, why not become one? Why not go the way that will be the way of peace, the the way of hope, the way of eternal life. Maybe you're here this morning and you've lost some of your hope. You've not been showing the way as you should. You've not been living as you should. Maybe you need to make things right. Come now, so we stand and sing.
Jesus is tenderly calling me home, calling today, calling today. Far from the sunshine above will thou roam, farther and farther away. Calling today, calling today. Jesus is calling, is tenderly calling today. Jesus is calling the weary to rest, calling today, calling today. Bring him thy burden and thou shalt be blessed. He will not turn thee away. Calling today, calling today. Jesus is calling, is tenderly calling today. Jesus is pleading, oh, listen to his voice. Hear him today, hear him today. They who believe on his name shall rejoice. Quickly arise and awake. Calling today, calling today. Jesus is calling, is tenderly calling today. Please be seated. Prayer reminds for the Lord's Supper. Please turn to number 350. 350. In my love to Christ grows sweet, when for deep the faith I see, liveth I go to thee.
heart this weekend as great niece who probably only met 2 or 4 times. Passed away tragically. I can't imagine. Some may have experienced that. It is a difficult time. Recall the scare we had with Sophie when she was 8 weeks old, but she's here. She's fine. She's healthy. I've known what that's done to many as seen as they've lost children. It's a scar that never completely heals, and some it derails them and devastates their lives. I ask that you keep my nephew and his wife in your prayers, and my brother. They have struggled with faith from time to time, and I pray that they turn to God for peace. It'll be appropriate before we partake of the Lord's Supper. Read from a passage that we don't normally read from, but in 2 Corinthians, generally we deal with some of these passages when we talk about 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 10, it says, "He who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will supply and multiply your seed, for sowing and increase the harvest of your righteousness. You'll be enriched in every way for all your generosity, which through us will produce thanksgiving to God. For the ministry of this service is not only supplying the needs of the saints, but is also overflowing in many thanksgivings to God. By their approval of this service, they will glorify God because of your submission, flowing from your confession of the gospel of Christ and the generosity of your contribution for them and for others, while they long for you and pray for you because of the surpassing grace of God upon you. Thanks be God for the inexpressible gift." I cannot think of anything worse than losing a child. Nothing more devastating. Doesn't matter what age, if your child dies before you, that is a devastating thing to overcome. It's something that haunts you. Yet the peace that only comes through God allows us to endure. None of us would willingly ever give up our child. All of us would willingly die and defend our child to the death. And we think about God. He loves us so much. He gave His only begotten Son. He did it for our sins. Because we all sin. We all fall short. And Christ died for us while we were still sinners. Willingly free. God sent Him for that task. Jesus, when He became flesh and blood, He knew from the very beginning that was His destination. We gather around the table right now to proclaim this death. We look toward the cross, the body which hung there for our sake. We take solace because the act that He did, we can have eternal life in heaven one day. Well, it's easy to think about the troubles in your lives and the problems that you have. Let's remove them from our minds now. There's a gift that we cannot describe. The words cannot explain what Christ did for us. It was deity itself and came down, flesh and blood, and sacrificed Himself. Let's look to His body, hung on the cross, and take the bread, the fruit of vine, which represents His shed blood. Let's do so and cast away all our problems of this world. Let's proudly proclaim to the world what is our wishes. We take the Lord's Supper.
Would you bow with me, please? Our God and our Father, as we gather around this table to commemorate your Son's death, burial, and resurrection, Father, we ask you to bless this bread, which represents his body that was broken on the cross. And may those that partake of it do